Hey there, in today's video I'm reporting from a tiny little village in the middle of Wales, about 10 miles north of Pontypool. It looks fantastic. In today's video we're going to have a look around my van, or motorhome I should say. We'll have a look at all the different features of it from the outside, and we'll show you the setup of the solar on top. So on the rear here you have a little fold out ladder so I can get up to the top. You have a tow bar. I have a towing capacity of 2 tons, although realistically I probably won't ever use that. You can see just down here and here there are these little jacks that come down so I can level the rear, get the wheels off the ground. I've not actually used those, but maybe in a future video I'll give them a test. Big feature is the push bike, so I've got a old, barely functional like racing BMX. It's high geared. Kind of make it look a little bit shittier so that someone doesn't steal it, but it's functional enough to get me into work. Up top you have a reversing camera. So this one does sort of 2 angles. You go right down so I can reverse and see the the rear of the car properly, and then the other one sort of goes back. It has a really nice wide angle camera on it, so I can actually see better through the camera than I do the wing mirrors. Obviously I still have to check the wing mirrors for my blind spot, but I don't know if you can see it there, but I've also got a dash cam permanently recording in the rear so that if anyone crashes into me or if something happens I'm sort of protected. Yeah, lovely. Fuck's sake. It's a shit system. You can sort of watch me fail at trying to climb this one-handed. Nice. Up top we have 3 Link solar panels. Each of these are kicking out 200 watts. They run at 20 volts. Currently, I said last time in the first video, if you remember, I had them up in parallel, and this was actually causing me to overamp my charge controller on the DJI. And if you remember me mentioning, I only had 323 watts of usable income. Since putting these in parallel, I've relieved that issue, and now I get the full 600 watts. The most I've seen is 560 watts. Sorry about matey boy driving by. Yeah, so 600 watts is basically achievable now, which is like double the wattage I used to have. Down here to your right, this is the hatch for the bathroom. There's no vent on that, there's no fan on that, it's just a flap that comes up so I can vent out the moisture. In the center I have a hatch. This one is the extractor fan from Truma. This has air that goes in and air that goes out in a bunch of different speeds. Bit stupid. Up front there's another sort of hatch that just comes up and down, a bit like the rear one. This is where I keep my Starlink. Ignore all the tape. This is sort of a temporary solution. I'm in the process currently of sort of permanently sticking all these cables down nice and tidily, and I'll clear up all the all the residue at some point. But yeah, lovely place for a little stop. So down the left hand side of the car, well, it's not a car, it's a motorhome, but I have some rear storage. This sort of hatch goes under the bed. This is where I keep my batteries. So there's a compartment here that goes all the way across. When I bought it, it had a cassette in here, in the toilet on the other side, but it was quite festy because it was like 25 euros old, so got that in as a spare. So after the storage, next up you have a hookup socket. So this allows me to get power from campsites, or I have a little plug so I can just plug it into any standard 240 plug in the UK. Here is the exhaust for the water heater, which is propane. There's nothing special about it. Next up is my water fill point. Again, nothing particularly special about this. So it took me a good 10 minutes to figure out how to open it the first time. And then next up we have the literal worst piece of storage ever in existence. So the locks on these need changing because they're horrible. But have a quick time lapse of me trying to open it. So inside of here I have two Anker ramps with a couple of steps on them so I can level the front end. Luckily this hatch is considerably easier to close than it is to open, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get some new locks because they're absolutely miserable to open. After that we have the gas locker. So here's the gas low system, and then you've got a refill point here. It doesn't take 24 litres, that was before. When I bought it, it had two 6-litre tanks, gas low, but both of them had a snapped fitting at the top. So yeah, I thought I got a bargain, but in fact I had to sit there and replace it. Tank was about 300 quid, and I paid maybe like 50 quid to fit it. But I will go over the full gas situation in another video because it's long and arduous. Yeah, let's put that back. Great idea was this. Cool. Yeah, so gas low system in here, and then just a generic calorie bottle so that I can fill up sort of regardless of where I am. And then obviously you have the cab at the front. I'm rocking, so this had, when I bought this had 15-year-old tyres from God knows what company, but I've gone and put a bit of Michelin at Gillis Cross Climate on here, all four all the way around, brand spanking new, and these are all season tyres, so this will take me wherever. I've got a bit more tread as well, because obviously I was concerned about getting stuck in fields if it's a bit too rainy. This will sort of help me out. So again, from the front, it's nothing too special. It's just a van from up front. I do have a dash cam as well, constantly recording. You'll have to ignore all the bugs. Like these are horrific to clean. I took it to a self-serve pressure wash cleaning station yesterday, and I just could not shift any of that. I've tried like glass wipes, I've tried all sorts. If anyone knows what's a good way of getting rid of that, let me know in the comments. And then down the right hand side, starting at the rear, We have the door for the toilet cassette. This is a C200 cassette, and I'll maybe add a video here of me emptying it, if I can be asked. Probably not. Yeah, so interestingly on this one, there's a door on the right hand side, the off side. Now this is quite weird because usually the door is on the footpath side. But obviously this is a French company, Rapido, so this makes sense when I'm going across to Europe. Up top I have an awning. I'll show you a quick snippet of what that looks like set up. It does need a bit of servicing because it's 25 years old and it was used about 3 times. But yeah. Underneath the habitation door we have a step that folds out. This does work, but as I don't know if you can see, I, being an idiot, left it out and drove it into around a corner, and basically it grabbed and dragged down the wall, bent it out of place, and I had to crowbar it back into place. I've decided to just never use the step again. Maybe I'll get it replaced at some point, but for now, yeah, it's just a memory of the fuck up. Right next to it, I don't know if you can see it here, I'll do it very quickly. So it's a grey water exit, although I've got nothing in the tank at the moment. Up here you have 2 little vents for the fridge. So at the bottom is where the gas burner is, and then what's supposed to happen is air comes in the top. Sorry. Air comes in the bottom, hot air rises and then comes out the top. There's a little fan in here as well that helps it cool when it's too hot. To the right, this is the exhaust for the hob, and here you have a little it's like a water pipe here that you can put on for like a hose on the outside. So if I wanted to wash my feet or something before I get in, I could. Up top here you have a little extractor vent for the fan above the hob, so like moist water or whatever can come out. I also have a external light that the person before me fitted, super bright LED that I can turn on if someone was, it's like an intruder, like alarm. So underneath is well clean for a vehicle that's 25 years old. There was a few spots of rust around, but I've sort of converted those and painted over them. It's got a new exhaust all the way down that someone put in a couple of years back by the look of things. It's on old leaf springs, but they're reliable. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, that's a sort of a view of the outside. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. In the next video, I'm going to have a deep clean of all of the carpets in the motorhome because they're a bit festy. Mother got me a spot cleaner, so I'm going to do a deep clean of all the fabrics. I'll also go over how a few of the internal systems work, and sort of like a couple of issues I've had and a few of the repairs I've had to do. And yeah, if you give me a like, give me a subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you on the next one. It's also worth noting that I'm going on a 2-week road trip around Europe on the 1st of June for 2 weeks, so expect a longer feature-length film of our shenanigans. Cheers, bye.